I used to make a living pulling papers out of my butt at the last second, but I knew there had to be a better way, so in this video I'll show you how to automatically generate a bibliography, use Google to search your school library, and the workflow I wish I knew about before I started university. Hey, I'm Spencer, and I like to make optimal feel easy. So in this video, we're going to take the struggle out of essay writing. Timestamps are in the description so we can dive right in. Zotero is a desktop app and a companion Chrome extension that allows you to collect, organize, and even annotate your research. The key is that you need to have the Zotero desktop application open and running in the background, as well as have installed the Chrome extension for this to work properly. I used to make rough notes as I was writing my essay and come back later to tidy up the references. Now, using Zotero, it's just as easy to nail the references on the first pass, and when I'm done, I can generate my entire bibliography or works cited with the press of a button. If I find a source I'd like to cite and the website has all the relevant information, I can automatically save it to Zotero. Here, I've looked up a book called Social Media and Mental Health, edited by Alan House. You might view it on your school library site, but you can even find it on Amazon. The extension icon will actually change into a book, and if I tap on that extension, it will save the citation information for this book, and then I can review the saved information in the Zotero app. Now, if I open up a Google Doc and start writing and actually decide to reference this book, I can just tap on Zotero and then add edit citation. I'll search for the author's name and tap enter. Zotero will take care of adding the footnote for me. And also, if I want to cite a specific page while I'm adding a citation, I can just click on the work and then add a page number. I'll tap enter and you can see it's taken care of adding the page number and formatting the citation for me. By the way, if you want to change this to APA, that's not a problem. Just tap on Zotero and document preferences, and you can choose your citation style of choice. Now, if you're anything like me, you're probably just wrapping this up 10 minutes before it's due, and you haven't even begun to think about a bibliography yet. When it comes time to add your works cited or bibliography, you just tap on Zotero and then add edit bibliography, and bam, Zotero will spit out a perfectly generated bibliography based on all the sources you've cited so far. This has a couple other features I want to show you as well, but they'll actually make better sense after I've shown you a few ways to enhance the research process. So I'll circle back to Zotero at the end of this video. By the way, if you love using tech like this to dial in your productivity, then you'll probably love my free guide to the top free apps for optimizing your morning routine. You can check that out via the link in the description below. Don't cite Wikipedia in your paper. If I've heard it once, I've heard it 1,000 times. And even though it's true, tools like Wikipedia or ChatGPT can still play an important role to help you get started. For example, when you don't yet know the specialized term for a particular historical event, Wikipedia or ChatGPT can help you stumble upon the keywords that might unlock the rest of your research. For instance, even if I know I want to write a paper about how deadlines feel different for someone with ADHD, I still might not know what to search for. But if I search for Wikipedia deadlines feel different for someone with ADHD, I'll find an entire article about ADHD, which, sure, I can't cite this directly, but it actually references 366 other books and articles, most of which appear to be academic in nature, and citing these would be perfectly legitimate in my paper. I can do something similar on ChatGPT by searching, what is it called when deadlines feel different for someone with ADHD? And I'll get loads of keywords like temporal processing or temporal discounting, which may put me hot on the chase for the most relevant academic works when I turn to searching for academic sources available through my school's website. Even if all these tools do is get the wheels turning, that can often be enough to help us avoid procrastination. Now, as helpful as Wikipedia and ChatGPT can be, imagine if you were actually allowed to cite them. Well, actually, there is a tool that's designed to bring you up to speed on a subject, and, as a bonus, it's completely legit to use it as a source in your finished paper. There's a whole category of books known as specialized encyclopedias or academic dictionaries. You just need to know how to look for them. Try searching on your school website and add keywords of your topic combined with words like encyclopedia, dictionary, handbook, or companion. Oxford has a great series of books called Oxford Handbooks, and Cambridge has a great Cambridge Companion series. If you can figure out how to get digital access through your institution, then you can even find that many of the articles are hyperlinked together. So if at any point they use a term you're not familiar with, Instead of getting lost, you can simply jump to that article to get a bit more information. If you don't know where to start, or even if you do, you should start with these sorts of encyclopedias or dictionaries. It will make all the concepts clearer, and even your subsequent research will feel less confusing. It also feels great just to have a nice, clear starting point, so I always pre-commit to starting with something like these dictionaries. Not only does it make every subject feel suddenly easy, but it will often save you loads of time by direct you to the most relevant books and articles on a topic. By the way, many library websites have subject guides designed to point you in the right direction. I'll show you how easy it is to find one of these by finding one for the first time on a school I have not tested this with. I'll just pull up Dalhousie's University Library website and quick links to research guides. Okay, here's the guides. I'll click all guides, and okay, I found psychology and neuroscience. I'll click on that, but it's pointing me in the direction of key databases, so you can just jump right into one of those to get started. Here directs you to the reference desk or your subject librarian. I've worked at one of these reference desks before, and you should definitely go for help. You should definitely be reaching out to your subject librarian if you're looking to get quick access to the absolute best resources in your niche. So in a research guide like this, they're going to point out the best databases or journals, and here you have it right here: dictionaries, encyclopedias, and handbooks. As I said, these sorts of tools are going to be some of the best places to start when it comes to diving into your research. Often I would be caught finishing a paper late the night before it was due. If my library was closed, I found I could often use Google Books to get a preview of a book that I wouldn't have been able to access otherwise. Sometimes I could even find the exact section or chapter I needed. The other thing that I love about Google Books is that it gives you the ability to search through a book in a way that you just can't do with a physical book. For example, I recently listened to Matt Walker's book, Why We Sleep, and I think I vaguely recall it mentioning ADHD somewhere in the book, but I can't remember for sure. Now, I could spend hours slogging through the book or hoping that it's mentioned somewhere in the index, or I could just open the preview and search within the book on Google Books. And I can immediately find that this book mentions ADHD in a handful of places. Now, I actually don't have a preview for these pages in this book, but as I scroll through this preview, you can see you often get quite a bit just from the preview itself. This makes it very easy to find citations from all sorts of books quickly that pertain directly to your topic. If I decide I want to cite this book, I can just tap to add it to Zotero straight from the Google Books listing. The problem with research is that it can feel pretty dizzying. The process is horrendously unfamiliar because we don't tend to spend a lot of time in databases like JSTOR or PsycInfo. Thankfully, I'm guessing you're familiar with Google, and Google Scholar can inject some much needed familiarity back into the research process. If I head to scholar.google.com and search for my topic, I can quickly find loads of scholarly articles directly from the Google search bar. But there are a few next level features that make Google Scholar extremely lethal. For instance, when you find an article on Google Scholar, you can also see how many times that article has been cited by other works. Obviously, you won't have time to read everything you come across, so with this cited by number, you can feel confident that you're focusing on the most influential scholarship on your topic. Typically, the best way to grow your bibliography or reading list is to check the citations of a book or article you've already found, as that can help you find other important articles on the topic. The drawback is that every time you do that, you are by definition going to be finding older and older documents. However, Google Scholar makes it easy for us to find newer documents on a subject. Just tap to see related articles, or if you click on that cited by text, you can actually see the list of articles that cite the original work. The real benefit here is that you're now discovering articles that are perhaps newer and even more up to date on a topic. One of the most amazing and least used aspects of Google Scholar is that it can be integrated directly into your library catalog, so that whenever you find an interesting article, you're actually only a single click away from accessing that article right through your academic institution. In fact, your school may have already even embraced this integration by giving students the ability to use Google Scholar's search right within their library website. If not, then that's okay. To set this up manually, we'll tap on the hamburger menu, then tap on Settings, and then tap on Library Links. Then we can search for our academic institution. I'll just search for Queens and then hit enter. Then I can add it as a linked library and hit save. Now, if one of my search results is available through my university, I can tap get it. Note that this text might look different for different institutions. For example, if I add Dalhousie University's library, it will say find it at Dalhousie. Okay, so I've shown you a few tools, but now I want to show you what happens when we put all of this together. I'm looking for articles about smartphone addiction, and I see one that seems to have a PDF available, and if I click on that, and then tap on the Zotero icon to save it to Zotero, it will actually capture the full PDF. Zotero actually comes with a PDF markup tool. So if I open up Zotero and double click on my entry, I can do all of my reading right here. I can add highlights. The highlighted text actually shows up right in the sidebar. So once you've done this for a number of different papers and you need a quick refresher about what was going on in the first paper, you can just scroll through your sidebar, and if you click on a highlight, it just scrolls to that section of the paper, helping you to quickly get reoriented. The next thing we want to do is outline our paper in Google Docs. So reviewing what stood out to us in the various articles we've read so far, we can start to come up with a loose outline. I use heading 1 to denote the larger sections, and heading 2 or 3 to denote the subsections of my paper. These headings are just for my own use. I might delete them or rename them before I wind up turning the paper in, but if I turn on the outline in the sidebar, then I can actually jump to whatever section I want. Now, when it's time to write, we just have to fill in the outline, which makes the daunting task of writing feel much easier. With Zotero open and all my highlights pulled up, I can just start dumping the citations into the relevant sections. It will just copy and paste the text of the highlight right into my document. It even adds a little reference so I know where it came from. Note that this isn't a true Zotero reference, it's just there to help us remember where something came from. And as I polish these crude building blocks into my finished paper, I can add the genuine Zotero references or delete the sections as I come to them. Let me know in the comments how you plan to use this workflow. These tips can help you get organized to write your paper, but if it's low motivation you struggle with, then you might want to check out my other video about the best free Chrome extensions to help you focus. And if you're ready to discover the best free apps to help you unlock your morning routine, then don't forget to grab that free guide from the description. Remember, life may be just a few small changes away from feeling easy, fun, or rewarding, so why struggle? I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.